Hey guys, I'm back. Mike Robert here. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to like and subscribe. So in today's video, we're going to be going over a tax prep campaign. We've been running this campaign since January 6th, and the results have been pretty good. So I just wanted to show you guys what's going on. This is just one of the tax campaigns that we're running right now. And this was yesterday. It's kind of early today. We haven't got a lead just yet. We like to start our campaigns around 7, 8 in the morning, Eastern time. So this campaign yesterday got 7 leads. Average cost per click is $2.38. And we only spent $16.65. CPM 42.91. Cost per click link. Cost per link click $1.67. This is what I like right here. This CTR, boy, 8.51%. Now, I think that this could be based on the time of year, of course, because tax is a bit of a demand service. But let me just do this because I know sometimes with the internet, you never know what to believe. So I just refreshed it. So this data, you can just see this is real. Now this is active, right? This is running. Let me just take you back to the first week we ran it. And we had 2 ad sets originally that were running. Okay, so first week, 62 leads. Average cost per lead, $2.61. So we're still right in line with what we're seeing on average. Spent $161.27. See that? CPM, $21.26. My thinking is that most companies haven't started their campaigns that week and that they're probably opening up this week and definitely going into next week because we're opening into tax season. And then look at this, clicks, 469, CTR, 6.18%. So long story short, this campaign, since we opened it up, took off. Now, in comparison to the video that I gave you guys with the training on how I would set up a tax prep campaign, I'm going to add a few things to this because you probably noticed that number of we're spending. You probably said, Mike, shouldn't you guys have spent like 1,000 plus already? So let's go into the ad sets and then I'm going to change some of the dates. I am going to blur out the ad set name because the client's name is in there. So we had 2 different ad sets. Okay, now before I go into those details of what we did differently with the ad sets, just going to show you some of the, well, actually, I want to talk about the budget first. So budget. In my training video, I spoke about I recommend $100 a day. I still do. This particular client doesn't have enough staff to manage $100 a day. In addition to that, in my opinion, we got very, very lucky with the, I wouldn't say luck, but pretty lucky because let's say you open up an ad and it doesn't perform. That can happen. And on the market, that's why you hire experts. On the marketing side, our job is to, work the ad and figure out, ways to get the campaign to perform. So we created 15 different ad images, okay? And we had seven different text variations that we're testing. And since opening it up, we just knocked this one out of the park, okay? And we started getting leads right away. If that's not the case, I know some people commented on the other video that maybe they didn't have any experience or knowledge just yet with taxes specifically, then you could get leads at a higher cost, right? You could get leads, might not be this, might be $15, $20, $30. It's going to vary, right? That's one of the reasons also why I did recommend to clients that were looking to work with us, it's better to start your campaign a little early because if you start and you have no campaign data and now there's all this competition, now Facebook has to fizzle out and try to, so you're in competition, right? So if you don't know this, there are these different ad auctions. And because everyone's trying to auction and get the same thing, typically the ads that already have data will get the first, and they have good data. So if your ads weren't performing, you have a low CTR, low engagement, you're not going to get a lot of leads. So typically, if you already have that, Facebook will reward you. Okay. And if it's original content, if you go and copy someone else's stuff, you're probably not going to get good results anyway, just so you know in advance. Okay. So let's talk about the 2 different ad sets. So in the top ad set that we have currently running, this ad set is the same ad, same ad creative as the bottom ad set. The difference is This is a high intent lead form, and the bottom ad set is a more volume lead form. So what that means is a high intent lead form is where someone has to fill out all of their contact information with Facebook. So this means their name, email, phone number, and in this case, we're asking city and state. Now, I did not mention this, but this is also a nationwide campaign. I do think that, just to a little bit off topic here, I do think that if you are doing just want to go local, if you have a good population size, maybe you're in a metro area, you should be fine. Reason I'm saying that is because in comparison, I would say to maybe automotive campaigns that we've run, it's very similar. It kind of deals with financial services, and we've seen very similar metrics, right? And so test it. I still would probably do at least a 30 to 40 mile radius, if not maybe the entire state, depending on where you are, but I would test that and see what your metrics are. I don't know if you'll get lead costs the same. You might, it's unknown, but if you just want to stay local, test that out and see. But this is nationwide. So, and let's go back to the high intent lead form. So with the high intent lead form, let's refresh so you guys can see that the data is real. With the high intent lead form, we have five questions, 3 are multiple choice, and 2 are short form. So with the short form questions that the person has to answer, it requires them to be attentive. And then with the multiple choice questions, we have qualifiers and disqualifiers. So with Facebook lead forms, you can actually disqualify leads. And what that will do is tell Facebook this person is not a lead based on how they answer the question. You can only do that with multiple choice questions. Okay, so you have to be very creative if you want to go down that route with multiple choice questions. But then they have to put in their name, they have to type all that in. So it takes, I would imagine it takes the average person 30 seconds to a minute to fill something like this out. Maybe longer, I don't know. They don't give us data on that, but that's on average, okay? And now the other ad set that we have here, this was a more volume. So the difference is that their name and contact information is already auto-populated with Facebook. And we still have the same survey questions. So we still have those for qualifiers and disqualifiers. I'm going to take you to today, yesterday, because we still have the data for today. Let me just check actually. Yeah, still pretty early. Okay, so yesterday, as you can see here, we didn't spend the entire budget. So we'll see what happens today. 2.38 cost per lead. 7 leads came in. And this is interesting, right? So we see our CPM change from the first week to yesterday. And I saw it yesterday was floating around 50, so it dropped down a little bit. I suspect, like I mentioned, I suspect this is because is more competition coming, and there probably will be a lot more. But our data is actually holding, right? 10 link clicks out of the 10 people who clicked on our ad, 7 of them completed the form, right? Which is pretty good. And who knows, maybe the other 1 or 2 people in there were trying to complete it, but they got disqualified. Our cost per link click, $1.67, CTR 2.58%, which is very good. And this is based on the link click rate. And then the entire CTR is 8.51%. So average CTR we're looking on Facebook is 2 to 5%. So with both of our metrics there, we're very good. Cost per click is 50 cents, right? So I mentioned earlier that there are sometimes you might want to, run ads on different platforms, which is great. If you can handle it, if your business can handle the volume. In this case, if we were spending $100 a day, this particular client would probably be a bit overwhelmed because they're going to have to manage 30 to 60 new inquiries every single day. That could be hard for the average client business to manage. So if you have a pretty big team, you can go for it. And again, assuming that you get the same metrics that we're getting, it's relative to what you can do. But you can always test it and see how it works for you. If you have any issues, just reach out to us. I would say that in a time like this, one of the reasons I recommend social media is because, like I said earlier, the tax season is not an if, right? It's not a maybe. People are going to file their taxes. And if you have the opportunity to get in front of them, this is great. The difference I think that will happen with a search platform like, let's say, Google or Bing, you'll probably get a very good cost per lead. But the main difference is going to be that cost. So one thing with taxes is that you don't really, well, one thing with Google search is you don't know just yet who's going to contact you. Okay, so it could be essentially the same type of customer, whether they're searching on Google or they're searching on, let's say, social media. And sometimes you might think that a Google search lead that goes to a landing page will pick up the phone right away when you call. It's not the case. It's predicated heavily on the service that's being offered. So in this case, if you're looking to get calls with Google, if you have a team that can handle calls, could possibly work very well. I think the competition, because you have the bigger companies that are spending a significant amount of money on all platforms right now, it could have a big effect on you getting enough reach, right? And then you're averaging your cost per lead and assuming that you have a good landing page and a good offer to get people to engage with your business right away. So in that case, one of the things that makes any platform work is automation. So let me just talk about that a little bit. So when we have a lead come in here, when they fill out, after they fill out the lead form, it's not just the lead form. Then we have automation. So that's where we have our email and text campaign that goes out to them. Just so you know in advance, if you decide to go that route, you need to put in a disclaimer and make them consent to it. So people consent to receiving email and text communications about tax prep services, right? So in this case, and then we have a follow-up system. So once a week, we're sending out emails and text messages to people just to keep them engaged. And then we have referral programs that our clients are offering so that they can refer a friend, family, or colleague, right, to the same company that they were doing their taxes with. So this is a very good campaign where you can get in front of your business or in front of the clients that you're working with, and you can offer them tax services. So if you're a business that is a tax prep company and you're looking to get more leads for your business this tax season or even next year, who knows, there's a link below this video where you can book a time to speak with us. Just so you know in advance, we charge $199 for that phone call. And the reason we do that is because we're not here to waste your time or ours, right? We want to talk to businesses that are serious. And the rates to run this campaign start at $2,500, okay? There's a lot of good things in there, so you can book the call and you can learn more about how we do it. But trust me, so far we have a few clients that are doing it and they like it so far. So if you're one of those businesses, click the link below this video and book a time to speak with us. Bye for now.